I call the member for Wollondilly.
Thank you, Mr Speaker. This private member's statement is brought here by the farmers of Wollondilly. Water is essential for growing food in the Sydney Basin, and healthy rivers in the Sydney Basin need healthy, fertile, hydrated lands. South, where Sydney's water catchment areas exist, where potable water is captured. Farming does not reduce potable water for a growing city like Sydney. This government has decided to reduce harvestable water rights from 30% to a mere 10% along the east coast and the central areas of New South Wales. This decision comes at a time when our farmers are already facing significant challenges, including the declaration of El Niño, which threatens to exacerbate drought conditions and put our agricultural sector even under more strain. There is a glaring disparity between the small area farmers along the coast, where 10% water harvesting rule was imposed, versus the large farms out west in New South Wales, where farmers can harvest 100% of the rain which falls on their land. Sydney Basin's rural area of Wollondilly is under enormous residential development pressure, and that makes it difficult for our farming families to justify their love of producing tasty, quality food with lower food kilometres. This decision unfairly affects our Wollondilly farmers, who are already struggling to make ends meet, who face vast different issues than their counterparts far out west. Decided without consultation with farmers, since a review was conducted in 2021 that increased the harvestable rights to 30%. I am deeply concerned with the lack of transparency in the consultation that adds further uncertainty and financial strain on our farmers. Restricting the ability of farmers to use water on the land reduces the land hydration with potentially devastating effects on the land and reduces the health of our waterways. We become less resilient, and water harvesting could be part of the solution, not part of the problem. The vast majority of Sydney's farmers are below Sydney's catchment areas. For those that are not, they perform a vital part of the water network in Wollondilly. The rural dams allow for the capture of more silt and other pollutants, which improves the health of Sydney's major rivers. They also provide water for rural firefighting. In 2019, the RFS in Wollondilly used this water to save the homes that were fortunate enough to survive to this day. Allowing farmers water harvesting rights to say 50% would greatly assist food production and potentially potable water. The climate crisis will manifest as a water crisis. Who has access to it? Who owns it? Who decides how much we get? The United Nations white paper entitled A New Water Paradigm explores the notion that an approach to water management starting with the regeneration of landscapes, including farmland, can result in a more sustainable farming practices, regenerative agriculture, conservation and greater water security. If the academics get it, the farmers get it, why doesn't the government? What advice have you taken and from where? It is evident that farming is now competing with urban areas for limited potable water, and the government thinks this change will save water in the dams, the ones that are at capacity and not downstream from the majority of these farmers. While our cities grow, we must not forget the importance of our agricultural sector, which provides the food that sustains these very cities. The lands of the Sydney Basin are naturally fertile and hold the potential for production to feed a growing population with fresh and nutritious produce. The reduction in water harvesting rights from 30% to 10% will have a catastrophic impact on the farming production. Sydney Basin farming once represented 90% of Sydney's consumption, and now it's a mere 10% of Sydney's consumption. This is not only unsustainable but a missed opportunity to allow small holdings and farmers of the Sydney region to contribute to our economy, providing food and produce sourced locally rather than interstate or overseas, and reducing the carbon miles of the food consumed by Sydney residents. Farmers don't waste water. The best custodians for water are those who see value in it and see the whole cycle of it, beyond just turning on a tap and expecting the water to flow. Those whose livelihood depend on water and who have been affected by its scarcity know not to waste it. I trust the farmers with this call, and I ask that the Labor Party will do the same both in this place and federally.
Thank the member.